Good morning. This is the first new year from the book Does God Have a Big Toe by Mark Gellman and Oscar DeMeo by HarperCollins. When Adam was first put in the Garden of Eden, he was amazed at everything. The smell of the flowers made him dance. The sound of the birds made him sing for joy. But of all the things that amazed Adam in the Garden of Eden, by far the most amazing thing was the sun. The sun was so far away he could not touch it, and yet it warmed his face as if it were close. Imagine Adam's surprise when the sun sank right down behind the edge of the garden and disappeared. Adam did not notice the sinking of the sun until it had already sunk, and then everything turned dark and cold. Adam was afraid, and so were the animals. They all crowded around him, and he tried to look brave, but none of them looked very brave, shivering through that first cold night. After a while, Adam fell asleep, but later he was awakened by a warm feeling on the back of his neck. He whirled around and saw the sun peeking over the other side of the garden. Adam did not understand how the sun was able to sneak around and come up on the other side of the Garden of Eden, but he was happy that the sun was in the sky again and he was not cold. Adam tried to reassure all the animals that the sun was back to stay, but after some time they came rushing over to Adam. "It's sinking again," they cried, and sure enough, the sun was sinking lower and lower in the sky. "Let's build something to stop the sun from sinking," they said. So the animals scurried around, piling stuff at just the spot where the sun sank. They hoped that the sun would hit their pile of junk and stop at the edge of the Garden of Eden just before it sank and everything got cold again. The monkey piled bananas, and the elephant piled tree trunks, and the squirrel piled nuts, and the pile of stuff rose high over the wall that surrounded the Garden of Eden. But then the sun just sank right behind all that stuff. And it was dark again and cold again, and the animals were frightened again, and so was Adam. Then God explained to Adam that the sun would sink again and again and again, and that there would be nothing he or the animals could do to stop it. But God also said that there was nothing to worry about, because in a few hours the sun would rise over the other side of the garden. God explained to Adam that separating the sinking and rising and sinking of the sun was something called time. And God explained to Adam that the time from one sun sinking to another sun sinking was 1 day. The time of 7 sun sinkings was 1 week. And the time of 4 weeks of sun sinkings was 1 month. And the time of 12 months was 1 year. "Do you understand?" God asked Adam. "Sure," said Adam, who actually had no idea what God was talking about. What Adam thought was this: after 1 day, I'm all right, because I still have 6 others before the week is over. After the week is over, I'm okay because I still have 3 other weeks before the month is over. And then I have 11 other months to use up. So Adam went on about his work in the Garden of Eden. Days, weeks, and months went by, and Adam marked them all, but did not think much of it, until one day Adam noticed that 11 months was up, and 3 weeks and 6 days had been used up. Then it hit him. "I've used up all the time. What am I going to do now? Tonight the sun will sink and it will never rise again, because this is the end of time. I'm going to have to wander around in the dark, and it's going to be cold all the time, and I'm going to trip over things. Oh Lord, what will I do now?" On that last day of the last week of the last month of the year, Adam said goodbye to the animals in the Garden of Eden. He called them together near the big tree in the middle of the garden and said, "I don't know if I will see you tomorrow, because I don't know if there's going to be a tomorrow. Before the sun sinks for the last time, I wanted you all to know that you were good friends. If I did anything to hurt you in any way, I'm sorry, and I hope you will forgive me." The animals hugged Adam and each other and bunched up together because they figured that they would soon be cold, and they cried a little as they watched the sun sink for the last time behind the edge of the garden. Then, after a while, the sun peeped up over the other side of the garden, just as it had every morning of the first year. A new day had begun. It was the first day of the second year. Then Adam heard God counting 10 years in one decade, 10 decades in one century, 10 centuries in one millennium. 10 millennium is, but by this time, Adam had fallen asleep. When Adam woke up, he smelled the flowers, heard the birds singing, and thanked God for making time way big enough.